Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T. For today, August the 16th, we're going up the left-hand side. I would suggest flaring just in front of the rocket launcher, even though I know I flared onto the rocket launcher. I'm also throwing critters, because the critters are going to do what your tank would normally do, which is blow up that rocket launcher, and then move over to the HQ and blow up the HQ. Nice and easy. Move on to Stage 2. Stage 2. Flare over onto the right-hand side where I throw those critters. Basically, your tanks want to follow the path around where my critters are going. And fortunately, because of the way programming works, your tanks will follow the same path, and they'll end up pretty much right here where my tanks are now. They'll blow up the HQ for you, and you will get the win. Move on to Stage 3. Stage 3, don't worry, I'm not throwing critters this time ahead. Take out the bunker, flare hard left, let the machine guns and the rocket launcher kind of just pester your tanks. Don't throw shocks, don't waste any GBE on them. You're at max range from that machine gun, it's not going to do that much, frankly. Now, once your tanks are all together in the flare spot, they're going to start fanning out, and they're going to blow up the flamethrower, the non-defensive GBE storages, and the machine guns, and then you're going to flare them up to where I just flared, and you're going to use all that GBE to do something to that cannon. You can either blow it up with your GBE, you can shock it, you can throw critters at it, I don't know. Send it a Valentine's Day card that says, "Won't you be mine?" with a picture of a bee on the front of it. I hear that goes over really, really well. Same thing with the rocket launcher. It's going to pester you, but you can throw GBE at it and do something. Because now Stage 4. And oh man, Stage 4. So what I suggest is landing left-hand side, blowing up the machine guns and the flamethrowers. Wow, brain blank there. And while your tanks are doing that, take out the boom cannon in the back there that obviously I just took out, and if you can, share all of the AoE damage with the rocket launcher and then take the rocket launcher out. And the reason I say this is because this whole attack, you're going to be slowed by this shock launcher. So if the rocket launcher is down, it's going to greatly reduce the amount of damage that your tanks are going to be taking, because so far, in case you haven't noticed, the only thing our tanks have gone up against are flamethrowers and machine guns, which do next to no damage. Now, once you're flared over to the right and coming back in, you're going to take out the sniper tower, and then from there kind of move in towards the shock launchers. The big thing is wait and watch for both shock launchers to toss their shocks, and that way you know you're in range of them both. And 4 seconds after the first shock launcher throws its shock, throw your shock onto both of those shock launchers. What this is going to do is lock up both shock launchers while your tanks roll in to take them out. Once you take out the first one, the good news is one shock, and I know I didn't do it because I was lazy, but one shock can actually take out both shock launchers and the sniper towers. So make sure to place that shock very carefully. You can take the whole thing out, make it very safe for your tanks. Flare around as you need to, throw shocks as you need to take out both launchers, and then flare everything all the way back. Leave the sniper towers, because once you're in position where my tanks are right here, taking out the HQ, those sniper towers will not be firing at you. It's a beautiful thing. Get your win. It's a little tougher, but it's still a win. Now the good news is, if you've taken out Stage 4, chances are you can take out Stage 5, because it's a really tough Stage 4, and it's really not a tough Stage 5, it's just a little bit... It's grindy. You're not going to be taking any big nasty damage on your tanks, but you are going to be inundated with AoE damage through this entire thing. So if you kind of go around the path where I go, it helps to minimize the amount of damage, but when you get to here, you're going to kind of fan out. Let them fan out. You want to take out that sniper tower, but you also want to take out that rocket launcher. Taking out the rocket launcher will reduce the amount of AoE damage that your tanks are taking, but you need to take out the sniper tower because it will pick your friggin' troops apart while you're taking on the HQ, just like Nya. Now, the good news is you don't have to touch the boom cannon, you don't have to touch the mines, you don't have to worry about regular cannons. The only thing that's really a problem when you get to this point in the attack is that one tower just to the north of the HQ. The good news is you can throw a flare onto that sniper tower while everything is shocked, let your tanks blow up the sniper tower, flare all the way back into the, like, top right-hand corner behind where my tanks are, and let them reset back towards the HQ. They'll take down the HQ without that sniper tower doing any damage, and you will get a nice, easy win. Then on to Stage 6, which is not so easy. It's actually a really nice level. It's very dense. There's a few things that you can kind of shortcut your way around, like the boom cannon to the south of the beach there. As you can see, 2 smokes allows me to land everything on the left-hand side without doing anything to the boom cannon, because that thing has like 20,000 hit points. Little shy of that, but that's beside the point. Now, once your tanks clear out a little bit of a foothold, flare over into the left bottom corner and let them work on the machine guns and the cannon. Now, that cannon, because I threw a barrage, earlier to take out the 3 boom mines, make sure you do that, it will damage the cannon also, making it that much easier and quicker for your tanks to kind of cut through that bottom corner, and then you can re-flare them over onto the left-hand side to prevent any of them from drifting off to the right, but also because you're going to follow the defenses in a nice natural curve around the side of the map, and throw a shock onto the cluster to the dead east of the HQ, because as you can see, one shock will take out the whole thing. And that's good, because that's what we want it to do. Sorry about that. Now, from the left-hand side here, you should be relatively safe. I did lose a medic because, 1, I don't listen to my own advice and I didn't flare back, so the tanks have to come back forward. 2, I was being lazy and not shocking the cluster of defenses right behind the HQ. I could have prevented that 1 death, but I was trying to minimize my GBE usage. Anyways, moving on to Stage 7. Holy crap. When I saw Stage 7 for the first time, I was just like, nope, I need to load all Zooka or Warriors. Landing tanks on this is freaking ridiculous. Only a madman would do such a thing. This is crazy. Don't even do it. Just don't even waste the gold. Just load up all Zooka. All Zooka would ruin this entire map. It's like, I think 5 smokes, 1 artillery, 1 barrage or 2 artillery, and 3 shocks, and you will ruin this entire stage in 10 seconds. I unfortunately suffer from a mild case of stubbornness. And so, here is my tank attack on Stage 7. Obviously, I landed on the beach, left-hand side. I flared onto the cannon. That cannon has like 24,000 hit points, but it hits like a Mack truck. So, flare onto the cannon, take out as many defenses as you can, because there are a lot of flamethrowers and machine guns in that area, and that'll allow you to build up a little bit of extra GBE, and you're going to need that, because this is where things went wrong. I was supposed to take out that shock mine right in front of the shock launcher. That would be one of the things you'd take out normally with, running all Zooka up there. But also the boom cannon and cannon at the back there, I meant to take out while I was kind of working my way around, but I got distracted with smokes. So make sure the boom cannon and that cannon go down before your tanks pull up, because that boom cannon claims a couple of my tanks. Also, as you just saw, that shock mine, because I didn't drop the 1 freaking artillery to clear it out, ended up freezing half of my tanks while the boom cannon went unmolested, which means I lost a buttload of tanks to the cannons and boom cannons that should have been either gone or shocked. So really piss poor attack, but at this point I'm already too deep in. I can't give up. I have to push forward. So I flared back, And again, not listening to my own advice, didn't flare all the way back so the tanks could come forward and actually take the damage. No, I let my medics tank everything for me. So, the rocket launchers, as you can see, are very slowly whittling away at my medics while my tanks just kind of putter along, shooting at the HQ, having a good old time. The good news is, I got my win. The better news is, you should be able to get an even better win than this. A lot easier if you follow all of the suggestions of what I didn't do and should have, and hopefully get yourself a stage 7, even if you have level 1 warriors and Zookas. Anyways, guys, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful, hopefully this has been entertaining, and most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.